Hey guys, welcome to part 1 of our Power App project series. In this tutorial, I'll be writing patch function to add data in a SharePoint list. If you are a completely beginner and want to learn patch function, how to write patch function and edit the data using patch function, this tutorial is for you. First, I'll show you what we are going to do overall, then I'll show you what we are going to do in part 1. So what I'll do, I will run this. Here we have the full name and everything available. What I'll do, I'll add the data here. We'll add Rohan Vishwakarma. I'll add the gender as male. We'll add mobile number to some random number. Date of birth I will add as 2003 Jan 4. I will click on OK. And if I skip this address and if I click on submit, I will get this validation error saying address is mandatory. So for all the fields, we have done it. All the fields are mandatory. It won't submit the data until unless you fill all the data, all the fields here. So what I'll do, I will add this as Mumbai, India. And if I click on submit, the data has been added successfully. If I click on this grid icon, here I have the Rohan's data. I'll click on this pencil button, means I can edit this data now. I will change it to Anmol and maybe this was 456, maybe we'll do 466. This I'll do as a Bangalore and again active to inactive, and if I click on edit again, it will say the record updated successfully. I'll go back here. If I'll see Anmol Vishwakarma data has been like it was earlier, it was Rohan, now it is Anmol. It was 456, it is 666 now, and the age is getting added dynamically, means whatever date of birth we are giving, the age is coming according to that. Means I've given 1997, so age will be 27 according to month. So that is what we are going to do overall, but in part 1 we are just going to write the patch function to add the data in a SharePoint list. So what I'll do, I'll close this and we will start with the patch function. I will close this and I'll go back and I will create the new app. This will be patch tutorial and I'll click on create. So it has been started. We have our screen available. What I'll do, I will save it and we have the list available here, right? So we have to create one more list same as this. I'm not going to use this list only as this series is for beginners, so I'll write everything from scratch. So let's go and let's create one duplicate tab, and here I'll go, I will select the site content, I'll create new list, we'll give a name as user, I'll click on create. We will be having this title as it is, and another column which we will need is the gender, which means choice column. We will give this as a gender, add it as a male, female, others. You don't have to add all the things, you can just save it. Another column is mobile number, so it will be again text. We'll save it. Then we have the date of birth, which will be date and time. Should not include time, just date of birth, and I will create this column as well. Then we have the address column. It will be multiple line of text, address, and save it. Then we have the age will be of number. save it. The last column will be user active, which will be yes or no. Save it. So we have all the columns available. We have saved it. And what I'll do, I will change the name. One more thing that we can do is we can, auto save the changes in every 2 minutes. So it will, auto save all the changes that is done. Let's check again if it is auto saving or not. Yeah, we have it. What I'll do, I will add the connector, which is SharePoint, and I will add the list as well. This was the list, so I'll connect with this. We'll save it. I'll go to my screen. I will add the rectangle. I will add the label also. This will be of color white and will be in a center, bold, and will be of 28, and the text will be patch add and save it. Now we have both this thing available. Can this be in center? Yeah. Now what I'll do, I will add the form. So edit form. You can add the data source user to it. If you won't be seeing that in while adding the form, you can add it from here, the options of all the data source that is available. Another thing that you have to do, the column is 3, you have to do it 2. Should expand this. Yeah, expand this. What you can do, you can remove the age because we are adding that dynamically. User active by default should be true, so remove this as well. Save it. Add one button. The button will be submit. Save it. Another thing that you have to do is you have to change this txt full name, dd gender, txt mobile, date picker dob, and this will be txt address. So this address will be of multi-line, right? So you can go to the property mode, you can select this, go to this property mode and do this as a multi-line, and should expand this and expand this also. That way you will be able to see the address in a bigger text area or text box. So we are done with this. We have to write the patch function. So I will write the patch function first, then we will work with the validation. So patch function, patch user, comma, defaults, user, open close, and here we will be having the title first. Title txt box full name dot text means we are getting the text from this, the text box which we have added, right? After this we have the gender, dd gender dot selected, whatever selected in the gender, we will be adding that. Then we have the mobile number, txt mobile dot text. Then we have date of birth, date picker dob dot selected date. Then we have the address. Address will be txt address dot text. The last one will be age. So date different, date picker dob dot selected date, today, comma, time unit, years. We are done with the patch function, I guess. I will format this and we will check if we are able to add the data here. So I'll save it and I will run it. I can't see anything because this is edit. We have to do it as a new. And if I run it, I will be able to see this. I will add some data. So John Doe, gender will be male, mobile number may be random, date of birth will be something from 1987, September 10, okay, and address will be, if we don't write address here and if I click on submit, the data will get added, I guess, in here. So data has been added, but the validation was not performed. Even we didn't added the address, we were able to, add the data. That should not be the case. We should add all the details, then only we should be able to add the data in a list. So that is what we have to do. What I'll do, I will close this. First thing first, I will add the star here, which means I will have to unlock this and I have to go here. You will be able to see the star visible. What you have to do, you have to it will be false, I guess. I'm not sure. What you can do it as a true, and here you can change the color to red. For every other, you know star, you should be doing that only. The color will be red and the visible property should be true. Yeah, again here we have to unlock this, save it, guys. Star visible, this will be true, will be red. Same for dob, date of birth will be not this but star pattern, right? This should be true. Then we have the address, right? Again we have to unlock this and the star pattern will be true. So for all the star pattern, we have to do that as a true, and we have to set the color to red. For this also we doing this as a should be doing this as a red. Now we have all the things in a red. The other thing what we have to do right now is we have the error messages as well. So we have to write the error message as well, right? Okay, if I'll go here, we have this. should be seeing the messages. We have it. I'll go here. We have the error messages. I will expand this. For this also we will be having the error message. You have to expand this. Then which one is this? This, right? Expand this. Expand this. And expand this also. Yeah. What you have to do now is for each, this text, you should be adding the full name is mandatory. Yeah. Save it. Just copy it. Text will be again gender, mobile is mandatory, and DOB, date of birth, is mandatory. And here for this error messages, for each and every error messages, you have to set it, right? This double quotes and will be address is mandatory. So this is done. The validation part is not done yet. We have to write the validation. So what I will do, I will go to the submit on select, expand this. So first thing first that you have to do is you have to update context. So what I'll do, update context, curly bracket, open close, is full name valid, colon, is blank for txt full name dot text. So this is done. What I will do, I will write the if condition. We'll check for the first one, and that way we will be working for another condition. So not is full valid, comma, then we will be performing the patch function, and we have to close our patch here. Here I'll add the semicolon and will be notify double quotes record added successfully, comma, this will be success, comma, notify double quotes all fields are mandatory, and this will be of error. We'll save it. What you have to do, we have worked for this. You can add it where this, right? You can go to the visible, you can add it here. Now we have added the John Doe, right? I'll save it. I'll show you. If I go here and if I remove it and if I click on submit, I'll get this full name is mandatory. And when I fill the full name or this title, I didn't change it. if I add this full name and if I click on it, maybe John Doe it was, maybe I'll add as a Rohan Vishkarma. And now if I'll submit this, it will get submitted, even though I haven't added the address, gender and everything. So what we have to do, we have to write the logic for gender, mobile number, date of birth and everything. I hope you've got what we have done for the validation for the full name. If you haven't, I'll try to explain it here. What we have did here is we have the submit button, right? In submit, we have created this local variable called is full name valid, and we are checking if our full name text box is blank or not. When it is blank, the value will be true, and when it is filled, the value will be false. For an example, what we have done after that is when the is full name valid is true or false, we are adding that in a error message. Accordingly, we have added here, means it will be seen whenever it is true. For now it is false, but when you remove it, if you go here, you'll remove everything. If I click on submit, and now you'll go, you will see this is true now, means whenever it is true, you will see this, and when it is false, means we have added something, you won't be able to see this. Same way we have to do for all the other fields. So what I'll do, I'll go here. Here I will add the comma. I will add is gender valid is blank dd gender dot selected format. We have another is mobile valid is blank txt mobile dot text comma is dob valid is blank date picker dot selected date. And now we have the last one is address valid bracket txt address dot text. Save it. We have done all this thing. Now what we have to do, we have to write the if condition as well, means when all the things has been filled, then only we should be able to add the data in a list. Even we added the update context, it will work only to show this label, but it won't work with the patch function, because for the patch function we are just checking the name valid. If name is valid, okay, we are checking that only, but we have to check with the every other field. So what I'll do, you have done this, you can add the and not is gender valid and not is mobile valid and not is dob valid and not is what is this, is address valid. We have done with this, we will be able to get the validations and everything will work. But only the one thing which we have to do is for each of this visible property we have to add that. But we'll run this and we will see how our project works, right? I will add this as a Shankar Yadav. If I click on submit, it will say all fields are mandatory. I will add this mail. I'll click on submit. It will say all fields are mandatory. I will add this, but it is not going even though I have added the gender, right? It is not going. It should be, it should not be visible or it should not be available. So that we have to do. I'll show you how to do that. But before that, I will add some details. We will add something 1993 December 8 maybe. I'll click on OK. I'll click on submit. Okay, for address it didn't work. I am not sure why. Let's see. The data has been added, right? The data has been added. Address is not added. Age is added, by default because of the code which we have written. So I'll go here to the submit. Is address valid? Okay. Not is valid. Format this. Okay, we didn't added the is blank here. We just forgot to add that. Now it will work, but what we have to do, whatever we have added here, we should be adding it in a property of this. If you have seen, I have added the visible property of, is gender valid, and the validation has been gone. For this also, it is gone. It is not showing now. Visible DOB valid, right? This one address is mandatory, and we have it here, and I will be adding that in a visible property of this, and I'll save it. Now if we will go, I will run it. I will remove Shankar Yadav. If I click on submit, it will say that the full name is mandatory. I will add something like my name, John Franco. And if I click on submit, again it will say all fields are mandatory. And I will add this as a Mumbai, India. If I click on submit now, my data will get added. And if I go to my list, I'll be able to see all the data here. So that's it. We are done with the part one. I hope you got what we have did here and you enjoyed this tutorial overall. And I hope you have learned the patch function, how to work with the patch function and validation part of it. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you really did, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with the part two of this project series where I'll edit the data using patch itself. So thank you and bye.